never told me the secrets of growing up. I hope it's warm. Oh, breeze way through the windowsill. Oh, na 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 na, no 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 no.
Had to change the pace on this little shit. Had to change the base of the little shit. Had to change the face of this little shit. New money smelling like old money. Old money, hoe want the dough from me. New money smelling like old money. Old money, hoe want the dough from me.
Hi, Chris. Hey, everyone. Hi. Welcome to JChats. Hello. I'm going to give it just a few minutes, but hi. Hello.
Hello. I actually needed to turn that down a bit. I was working. I lost track of time. Here we
Oh,
are, 9 o'clock.
it is no worries. I'm just like super punctual. Like
Oh,
last
I
night
usually am too, but my source of punctuality is currently in the UK right now.
in the UK. Why
Yeah.
is that?
Oh, she's there from work.
Okay.
So the house has been really, really, really quiet over the past 3 days.
I got you. So that went over my head at first. Your source of punctuality. So
Beyonce.
the fiance.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like
So
I'm
she's not there
usually
to be
on
like,
time
all right, it's time.
early.
She what now? Sorry, you skipped on my end.
Oh, I usually am on time, but she keeps me early.
Keeps you early.
Yeah, and I'm
Listen, it's no worries.
early.
I hop on here just a couple minutes early to give people a second to hop on anyway. So you're all good.
Perfect.
I'm really excited to talk to you tonight. I know we got to chat a little bit last night.
Yeah, I was just trying not to give everything away last night that we could possibly talk about. As I was telling you, I was like, what do I say and what do I keep to myself tonight? I have no idea.
Exactly. What did I say to you last time when we were sitting and chatting up at
You
Reveille?
have
I was
the
like,
same problem. And the good thing is,
I was,
neither of us were awkward about it. That could
exactly.
have been awkward.
I was like we can't talk anymore tonight. Like I want to, but I want to keep it fresh for J
Exactly.
chats tomorrow. And
What?
I'm just keeping an eye on the comments too. So if you see me like leaning down looking, there's
Oh,
a
I
ton
am.
of people that's jumped in. A number one music says, "What's up, stranger? Good to see the vibes and art being
Yeah,
created and spread."
I
Yes, I
really,
agree.
really, really am happy to see you in here, man. Like, it's been way too long. Hit me up soon. It's one of my co-members of JPS from back in the day,
Okay.
and
Like
like a real dope producer. And it's dope to see him still doing his thing.
you hear that A number one music, hit them up. He's ready to do some stuff. Speaking of, and Symbol, you have all kinds of things going on. Music producer. You're a two-time nominee for the Newlin Music Prize.
That's crazy. That is
crazy.
And
Artist and sole producer, correct?
Yes.
For people that...
Producer, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. You're okay. So I want to make sure everybody understands and knows what we're talking about. For people that aren't familiar with the Newlin Music Prize, talk about that first. Like, what is this? And the sole producer and your artist credits here, what you're nominated for. Let's talk about it.
Well, the Newlin Prize it's something that's in its first year, and Doug Nunnally, who runs the Auricular, like a local blog that had been posting all of our music, like that was what was the music source for me before Here RVA got started. Like, he was doing everything really unbiased. Like, if it was good music, he was just putting it out there for everybody. And he decided that he was gonna do an annual music prize for like the best albums that come out this year. And he released a short list. There was 20 albums, most of which I'd heard, and all of them that I heard were, of course, incredible. Like, first of all, people need to listen to those. Just realize that Richmond is overflowing with talent. Overflowing. And when I looked at the short list, it was crazy to me because I went down in alphabetical order. So me, starting with an A, of course, near the top, was kind of blown away. Like, whoa, I didn't even intend for this album to be that big. Like, it was just something I was doing to, work with people I wanted to work with and, take up a little free time. And I kept going down the list, and I saw the Big Talk with Giant was also nominated. That was a nomination I had known about, and I was excited because that was an album I felt like a lot of people had slept on. Apparently not. People heard it and people loved it, and that's how it ended up on that list.
And you see your name, like you said, almost right there at the top with the alphabetical. So it was artist and sole producer. So walk me through kind of what that means to have those two nominations.
Well, for artists, it was fully my vision. And just, being able to bring other people in to execute it, which was great because I love the people that I work with. I got to work with a lot of familiar people and a lot of new people. And I just wanted to make something that felt like the time that I was working on it. Like, I just wanted to be able to capture the moment while working on another project. Like, I just wanted to, boom, do it. And I did it. It came together real fast. I put it out, and I just, was going to put it out and see who bit. And apparently everybody was biting.
So many people.
I didn't expect all of the love that everybody gave to me. Like, I'm so grateful towards everybody. It didn't seem like it was going to be a major project to me. But people love it. People, were not afraid about saying that they loved it. And me being as humble as I am, I'm just like a deer in headlights, like overwhelmed by it all. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for, listening to that album. And as sole producer for Giant's Big Talk, I gave him the music, I gave him the beats, and let him run. He should have producer credits on that album too, because he had a very specific vision in mind, and he went after it. And that's not something that I can take credit for. If you have heard the album, you know what I'm talking about with his vision. And anybody that hasn't heard the album, go listen to it and you'll see how much of a genius Giant is. And there's no way that I could have done anything of that magnitude by myself.
It's amazing. It's like, I'm so excited for you. Obviously excited for Giant. Everybody that's on the nominee list, everything that's up, and the Newlin Music Awards. It's Music Doug on Instagram. Um, Make sure you go follow him. Like he takes a lot of time researching this stuff, and like Ant said, you know, kind of forefront with like what Here RVA is trying to do, keeping people on top of the local music scene. So, Music Doug on Instagram, go follow him. Ant, you also, so you're talking about your album. I love the title. Um, and I don't know if you caught me referencing it when me and Elijah
Oh,
spoke last week. Um, Ant hasn't heard of you either. I like it. It's saucy. How does
it doesn't seem
like
like
with
it applies anymore.
what's that?
It doesn't seem like it applies anymore. Like a whole bunch of people have heard of me now.
Exactly. So what was the story behind naming your album that when it did apply? Because I do want to get back to how it doesn't apply anymore. But what's the story behind it?
It's funny because like a lot of people didn't really, know what I was doing around here. Like I'm just, I'm kind of introverted. Like I go out and I do my thing. I talk to people, but by the end I'm just like, can I go back into my hole now? Please, please, please.
Me and you
And
connected on that last night.
oh, absolutely.
I opened up to you. I was like, man, I'm having like this is crazy. There's so much energy.
Yeah, it's good energy too. Like I was out until midnight, and it's because the energy was good in there. But a lot of I was kind of like flying under the radar for the longest time. And those who had known me for so many years knew about me, but I always kind of kept quieter than other people. And a lot of people had not heard of me. Like I'd seen a lot of people out there, and everybody that I would like tell I was a producer be like, "Oh, like what name do you go by?" And I feel like it's kind of because there's so many producers, like people are trying to be producers and all of that. You get lost in the mix. And it's the same way for rappers. Like it feels like everybody's trying to rap nowadays. And it was funny because like nobody's heard of me, and honest to God, and hasn't heard of him either. Like I'm very much just like off doing my own thing in the cut, just like walking to a record store like everybody else. You wouldn't tell me from a different person if you're out there.
I love it. I think it's a great title, even if it doesn't necessarily apply anymore. Tell me about that, because we also got up at Rapidly yesterday evening, talking to Ant. He was on the producers lounge last night. They use a lot of his stuff, and just sitting there talking about the people behind me while you're up there and going through your set. Just man, I love Ant the Symbol. He's amazing. You told me kind of like how it felt. How tell me again, how does that feel? Tell everybody watching, because we've got some people chiming in with some comments too. How,
It's oh yeah, it's funny, Jabari. Bowtie Gent, 1988. He has been around the whole time, and I started off like really ambitious, just out here like doing beat battles and like finding people to be on my album and all of that stuff. And over time, I just you release stuff, met new people, and then after about 5 years, I just fell back a little bit. Like I just wanted to be by myself a little more. And all of a sudden, with the pandemic happening and all of that, I was just like, I cannot do it like this anymore. You never know when everything is going to stop again. It's time, like, it's not time to hole up in the house. It's time to work. It's time to do something with this time that you've got. And
yeah.
increasingly since 2020, I've just been networking and making new music, trying to figure out how I can better my style, all of that stuff, and putting myself out there. And it's showing the payoff recently because everybody's just like, I don't know if we slept on you before or you stepped your game up or what, but you are really in a space right now that is perfect for you. And truth is, both. I've stepped it up a little bit, and I haven't stepped it up that much where it's like I'm way different than I was before. So maybe they did sleep a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. But it feels different because people are starting to see now how hard I work and how committed to it I am, and how, like, honestly, just like good I've gotten at it. It's weird to say that because you don't want to say on a public platform, yeah, I'm the dopest or whatever. I don't, at least. I'm not that kind of guy.
You can though, like in my opinion, you can. You're incredibly talented, and the reception's just been so amazing.
And
I
everybody
mean,
says that I have room to say that. And whether I have room to or not, I'm probably not going to say it often at all. Like, what you just heard me say is probably the last time you'll hear me say that for like a year or 5.
hey, that's fair. You gotta stay true to how you feel, and I'm happy and excited that you got to say it here. So,
I'm
well,
glad I'm getting it.
I'm gonna make sure I get the timestamp for Ian when he edits the video so we can like capture it in time, memorialize it. You're not gonna get it again for another 5 years.
Exactly. Like direct admission of the fact that I have talent.
From your mouth at least. Because again,
Yeah.
the reception's incredible. The people that you worked with on and hasn't heard of you either. So many different artists. You've got Ella Styles, Tin Shoe, Illiterate, one of my personal faves.
Oh, cool.
Like who else? So like a
Um,
ton of names.
like the entire Gritty City family, you will find them on there. And if you don't know who they are, go to grittycityrecords.com and all of them will be there. It's so many to name. And if you know, you know. But just check out all of Gritty City Records. That's actually my home team, Gritty City Records. Oh, who else? We said Tennis Shoe, Illa Styles, Star Nice.
Black Lick, I think I'm saying that right. I
Yes,
hope I
I hadn't worked with Black Lick in a while, so that was really, really, really good to be able to do something with him
you
again.
started. I think you basically started the album off right after Yo.
Yep,
Is it Names?
yep. He was the first full track on there, and I just felt very comfortable sending him something, knowing what his style is, knowing what he would talk about. Just it. He's an artist that makes you feel really comfortable working with him. So I was glad to be able to do that again. I hadn't since 2018, and I really should have never stopped, honestly.
It's a like amazing track. I'm interested. I like to kind of ask like what influences are and things like that, and I feel like that's kind of a weird question for this, just given the amount of people that you worked with. Um, did you have like maybe like a favorite track off the album? Like I don't know if that's a fair question, but I'm not gonna ask it. Any like did you have a favorite track?
I don't know that I did. Honestly, I feel like I might have the same answer as a lot of people, not because of the song itself, but just because of how it came to be and the fact that I got to pull something out of this person that they don't usually do. My favorite track is Gone Astray.
New money smelling like old money.
Okay.
Rep is an incredible talent. Like, everybody that knows him knows how talented he is, but he's different. He's really, really special. And I feel like he really displayed it this time around because he sang and he did a different flow than I've heard him do before. And that beat was a different kind for me. It was almost like a transition to something we'll probably talk about later. And he filled that gap perfectly. And if people are telling me about a song that they love, I'm like, they're like, yo, Gone Astray is amazing. I'm just like, well, don't thank me for that. Thank him. He's the one that did to it what he did. Like, it's a dope beat. It's a dope vibe by itself, but Rep took it to a different planet. Like, it's a great song because what he did to it.
I agree. It's also one of my favorites. So that's kind of cool to hear because, like, yeah, it's hard to describe, and there's just so many different like sounds and things like that. So I appreciate that, and I want to get back to what you said too about it opening, leading to some other things. I'm curious if there was like the most difficult, like a track that was like the trickiest or most difficult to kind of put together.
Usual Suspects.
Okay.
Usual Suspects is hands down the most difficult. I don't even know why I had to think about that for more than 5 seconds. Just because you get 6 different artists who have different voices all on one track together, and you have to mix it. You end up having to just stop in the middle of it, walk away for a while, have a beer or whatever, and be like, oh my God, what is going on right now?
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, everybody did amazingly. If you were to isolate each one of those verses, they sound right. But when you put them on there together and you try to mix them, it's not easy at all. No.
Like, I know very, very little. I know even just editing something like this, it's not like, oh, it just takes an hour or whatever. So I can only begin to try to imagine having to put together 6 different pieces. But you did it beautifully.
And I love that song too. It's difficult to pick a favorite because I love all of those songs for different reasons.
A lot of different like angles, aspects. People need to make sure if they haven't yet, you're streaming Ant the Symbol's latest album. Ant hasn't heard of you either. It's like, seriously, the title cracks me up. And for people that have just jumped on, we're talking to Ant the Symbol this evening on JChats. I really appreciate people joining in, and I just want to make sure we're saying hey to some people too. Let's see. I mean, there's a ton of people. Miscellaneous sending us the fire symbols.
I see a lot of familiar people here. Like, I could go down the list and name each of them individually, but I'm just going to say thank you to all of y'all for watching. Thank all of you.
Seriously.
No, included, all of you for watching.
It's definitely appreciated. And people are excited to hear from you. And I want to, like, you've got some projects going on. So just a few minutes ago, talking about your favorite track from the album, and kind of what's from Gone Astray, having some other things open up. Like, what do you have going on?
Well, I started working on this album that was not a hip hop album at all in like 2015, and I got a whole bunch of demos started for it. 2016, my hard drive crashed, and I lost about 100 demos. Yeah, like the only place that I have those demos now is in my Apple Music library, and that's literally the only reason I have Apple Music right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and not only had I lost those demos, I had lost 9 years worth of music.
Oh my gosh.
It was devastating. Like I almost quit. I almost quit music after that crash. It was so devastating. But luckily, that was the point at which I linked up with Gritty City. But that's another story. When the pandemic started, it was another instance of things you just gotta do. I decided that this album is such a leap, such a big thing to do, that I should do it. I should stop pussyfooting around the issue and just do it. And it's partially because of when Elijah started, playing everybody's music on Channel 6. And I started like learning about different people that did different types of music in the city, and I was making something different. I was looking for different singers to be on it, and I was learning about more and more and more every day, to a point where I got the right amount of people into it that I thought I wanted on it. Like, as I talked about on the episode of Liner Notes, Doe Eyes, Rob Milton, Annalisa from Museum District, Sam Reed. I don't think I actually mentioned Sam Reed as part of the cast of characters in this thing, but yeah, Sam Reed, Aaron Lunsford, who both also had episodes on Liner Notes. Yeah, since the Liner Notes was recorded, those two have become part of the project. They've submitted songs. Abby Houston, Illa Styles is on it again. He's got a track with Calvin Presents on it. It's amazing. Like, it's a song that really holds the album together. And I can't wait for people to hear that, because it's not like anything I've done before. And I have way better of an idea of what it's going to sound like now than I did when we recorded Liner Notes. It's the demos of it are almost done. So, like, once the demos are almost done, we have all the vocals and all that stuff, we can go into the instrumentation and mixing and mastering. I'd say we're about 70% done.
That's exciting.
I have enough tracks on the album to know how it's gonna sound, like, cohesively, like from the beginning to the end, and I really can't wait for everybody to hear that one. They're not really gonna expect what's gonna happen. When they hear it, they're gonna be like, "Oh wow, he's a lover of music." If nothing else, they'll know that I just love music in general. Like, I can't even like put it in one box. Like, I can't be like, "Oh, I love hip hop. I love pop music. I love R&B." It's just, I love music. If it touches me, then I want everybody to share in that love with me.
That's beautiful. I agree.
And
I think that's good.
Yeah, and it just makes it a lot easier. The fact that everybody that works on it with me is just, they're not just talented musicians, they're great people. Like, I wasn't at home and outside of hip hop when I first started working on this, but everybody just made me feel so comfortable. Like, I've, been there the whole time. Like, they didn't hesitate to, say yes, to trust what I wanted to do and go along with it. And I've actually made some really good friends out of it. Like, I was able to sit down and talk with Ali Doaz last week, and it wasn't about music, it was just about life. And just like being able to connect with fellow musicians like that, like being able to learn what makes them tick, what gets them to write the songs that they write is just a lot different. It feels so good to really dig into their process and for them to really dig into what drives me. I just I love experiences like that. And if I could do that with absolutely everybody that I worked with, I know there's not enough time in life. Like we've all got, dishes to do, jobs to go to, whatever, houses to clean. We can't just sit around talking for 4 hours with everybody that we want to work with. But honestly, if I had the time to, I would absolutely do it because that one conversation really, really inspired me on a different level. So thank you, Ali, for just sitting and talking to me for a few hours. It was just great, and it makes you think about the music a different way.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And Doe's just had a show this past weekend. You've had a ton of shows that you've been doing.
Oh yeah,
Like a,
into that one, just to enjoy it. And I feel sorry for anybody that missed that show. It was incredible. It was all acoustic, and Miss Jalen Brown, Landon Elliott, and Doaz all just really, really created an environment of awe and comfort and warmth. Like you felt like you were just sitting in a circle with them playing to you. Like you feel like they knew everybody in the room very familiarly, and it was just a great show. And then of course RVA Rap Elite last night, which is a different kind of camaraderie, but the camaraderie is definitely there.
yes, yes, that was incredible. And just like you said, to see everybody come together and yeah,
Oh yeah. Like pretty much
and
most of anybody who was somebody in the Richmond scene was there at some point of the night. And we just, all love and respect each other. Like, even with the Cypher versus Cypher, at the end of you can see all of them, even though they just went to war. You can see all of them at the end of it, just like showing their respects to one another. You would see them talking to each other outside of the venue as they were about to leave. And that's just how it is. Like in battles, it's just two motherfuckers that hate each other for 15 minutes and then go back to being like good friends and best of friends, whatever, afterwards. It's weird to see that dynamic happen. Like you're kind of jarred when it's over. It's like, wait, you just aired
you
every
just
one of this person's dirtiest secrets out on a stage in front of absolutely everybody. And now y'all are just sitting over there having a drink together? What the fuck? But it comes from a very like place of talent. I'll never be able to do that. Like if I love you, I love you. If I don't like you, get the fuck out of my face. I can't balance that level like these battle rappers do, but it's impressive on a lyrical and emotional level how they can just get up there and do that and get it over with and go back to their regular life at the end of it, and then do it again to somebody else in the next few months or whatever. Battle rap
so crazy.
special, and I swear to God, I will never have anything but respect for that field because of what I just said. Like it's just unimaginable.
It is so crazy to see, and it like speaking of it, it's so nice to finally get to see like so many people in person, and like you as always, just so nice. Um, OZ, Radio B. I saw Sneeze. Gosh, Who else? Who else did I run into? So many hugs. Everybody,
Oh yeah,
so cool. So
this is
fun to hear.
this is one of the kindest cities I've ever been to. Like everybody is just willing to like smile at each other at the very least. If you
Yeah.
recognize somebody, you're dapping them up, you're giving them a hug or whatever, and it's just like it's a lot of love around, and that's one of my favorite things about being here. I was telling somebody the other day, I can't remember exactly who it was, like I wouldn't trade being in Richmond for shit.
That's a big statement.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
It just like I've especially like with a birthday coming up next week, I've been thinking a lot about
Oh, wait a second. Time out. You have a birthday next week?
yes, Tuesday, next Tuesday.
When's your birthday?
Funny
Next
fact,
Tuesday. What day is that?
my birthday is not actually next Tuesday. My
Are
birthday
you
does
a
not
leap
happen.
year?
Yes,
You know what's
exactly.
crazy? I've had on my mind and I could not figure it out. So typically I don't like plan ahead and like I know I've needed to. And especially after like kind of talking with you last night. So I have like my questions.
Hmm.
Um, but I've had this reoccurring moment where I keep thinking to myself, just this question of like people that have been born as a leap year baby, like what's the deal behind that? When do you celebrate your birthday? Like the day before, the day after, like, and that's you.
I have a story about this. I was infuriated on February 28th, 2009, because depending on the way that you want to spin it, that was my 21st birthday.
Oh man.
February 28th, 2009 was a Saturday. I was not born yet on February 28th, 1988. I wasn't born until the next day. So on my license, it said under 21 until March 1st, 2009. Yeah. So I could
Son of
not.
a gun.
Yeah.
You
So,
got robbed.
yeah. Nobody, I couldn't be like, well, that day isn't this year. So go either way. The license actually said
Oh my God, it
3109.
decided for you. On your 21st, it took away a Saturday, gave you a Sunday.
Yeah. But luckily, we were able to have this like huge concert like party in my friend's basement. And it was so much fun. And then the next day, I got up. This is my actual birthday, so to speak, by the DMV. My actual birthday, I woke up, there were 8 inches of snow on the ground.
Oh God. Thanks, Richmond.
Yeah, 8 inches of snow on the ground. On the first day of my 21st year. So everybody else,
Because of the
like,
DMV.
buy a drink. I'm celebrating by shoveling our damn cars out of the snow. Only just in case we have to go somewhere. Nobody wants to drive in that. So yeah, ever since that awful experience, I've had no choice but to remember that my birthday is on March 1st, 3 out of 4 years, because I wasn't alive yet on February 28th.
According to the Department of Motor Vehicles in Richmond, Virginia.
Thanks, you make me wait a long time and you took away a birthday option. Ugh. DMV is good for nothing.
Oh my God. And you're hilarious. I feel like I could talk to you for 4+ hours. And
Oh yeah,
unfortunately, I don't.
I just looked at the clock and it's 9:39. Have we
It's
been talking?
okay. We really. Yeah, you're interesting.
What the fuck happened?
This is what happens when we hang out with you. This is like you literally transcend time.
Wow,
That's how chill you are.
that is the biggest compliment that I've gotten in a long time.
You see those hearts, guys? He transcends time.
Yeah,
The
I
hearts
just
just went.
like floating up. That makes my heart flutter. My
It's true
heart doesn't
though,
flutter
because
a lot.
I didn't realize it was already almost 9:40, and I don't want to like keep you crazy amounts.
Oh,
But
hey, my fiance's in England right now. I have
not
all
keep.
the time. Like, as much time as you have, that's how much time I have.
Hey, I'm down. Well, I mean, like I had a couple other things because you mentioned liner notes, your episode 4. So, guys, if you haven't checked out liner notes, at minimum, watch episode 4. Want to hear our VA website, our YouTube channels, and his episode 4. Make sure you go check it out.
Mhm.
We talked about
Quickly,
Rap Elite. Yes, please.
because he's here right now, I want to thank Roger Tyler for giving me an opportunity to like chase a dream that I've had my whole time. And I think that I talked to you about this. I finally got the opportunity to score a film thanks to him. And I wanted to bring this up with you because the director of that film is somebody that you talked to last week,
Who is that?
Monet.
Monet. Yes. How exciting.
I'm awestricken by her because not only is she an amazing singer, like I got to see her last Sunday and she and her band killed it.
Gorgeous. I got to see, I think, your stories that you, a ton of people actually.
Yeah. And not only is she a great singer, she starred in this film, written by Roger Tyler, who I mentioned, I'll shout out. She starred in it and directed it. She is 19 years old. And yes, it's important to me that I got to score this film, but the fact that somebody 19 years old is doing all of this and doing it well is awe-inspiring. And if you didn't follow her last week, follow her because she's gonna be something serious.
Her EP drops tomorrow, I guess,
Mhm.
at mid.
Exactly.
And you can follow her. She's gonna, have links, everything. I think you can pre-save there. Monet is amazing. And she just
Yeah,
had a
it's
birthday too, like you said, doing this at age 19 and starting her 20th year with this short film that you helped work with and
yeah.
in her EP out tomorrow.
So
That's
she's
crazy.
I'm sorry I got her age wrong, but 19 or 20, that's
She
amazing.
literally just had a birthday, I think, within the past week.
Oh wow.
Hmm
But
I
yeah.
think it was the day before she was on.
Oh wow.
Hmm
But yeah, it's just amazing that somebody that young is able to just like chase their dream that early. And I'm so glad that I got to join in the dream with her, doing a first myself. And it's just such a heartwarming project that anybody that's involved is just like has to be proud of it, has to be proud of her. And I just couldn't not mention that whole situation. It's a beautiful situation to be in.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, I'm excited. And when are the release dates for everything that you've got coming up? Are
The
they set or?
there's no release date set yet. Oh,
Okay.
it's in the final stages right now. Of course, we'll all be posting once it is on its way out.
So I'll have
Um,
to keep an eye out.
yeah, definitely keep an eye out for any information on that. It's really, 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 really beautiful.
So much exciting things that there's already out there and coming up. I really appreciate you. Like,
I
this has been
appreciate you.
awesome. I'm so
Yes.
happy I got to see you again last night. I can't wait to, looking forward to the next time that we get to interact more, whether it be like this in person. Guys,
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
symbol. Any shout
It,
outs, parting words?
um, just shout outs to everybody that has been there in the past, is there now, and anybody that I will build with in the future. But it feels really good to have been working at something since high school. And to put everything into perspective, high school for me was 15, 16 years ago. So it's been a while since I've been doing this. Everybody's been there. Thank you. Everybody that is there now, thank you. Because this is something that is like, I don't know what I'd be without music. I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, everything within me is like strongly related to music. And I just don't know where I would be if it weren't a thing. If it weren't for the people that shared in the love of music with me, whether it's collaboration or just, talking about it and listening to it. It's just the main love in my life. And I don't think that life would be nearly as easy if music were just like off in the background somewhere. So just if I were to make a list of people, we'd be here another 3 hours. Anybody that means something to me, you know that you mean something to me because I've told you. It's one thing I'm not afraid to do. I'm not afraid to tell people that I respect them, that I, love what they do, that we're all in this thing together, we're all gonna grow, and that the respect is undying unless you really, really, really fuck up and cross me wrong.
That's fair.
Like, you gotta do some real bad shit for me to just be like, no, you're gone.
Done.
Yeah, but yeah,
Hey,
I'm definitely not afraid to just, tell people, I love them. Like, shout out to everybody that honestly I've crossed paths with in a positive way. Keep living, keep doing whatever it is you love doing to the fullest, because we all experience better times. Like, if you're feeling low right now, know that all of this is temporary. Things will get better. If things don't get better, you'll get better. And that's that.
that's beautiful. You're awesome. You're the perfect example. Perfect example. You're getting me all choked up of you give love and you get love.
Well, thank you.
You're,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
having me on here
Thank
because
you.
I like talking to people. Even though I told you earlier, I just like to like come into my hole and do exactly what I want to do. I like talking to people, and especially people that I'm comfortable around. So thank you.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. I definitely have enjoyed myself, and we're gonna have to do this again, obviously.
Absolutely. I ain't going nowhere.
And the symbol. Go enjoy the rest of your evening.
You do the same. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll be seeing you soon.
Sounds great. Good night.
Night.
Guys, that was Ant the symbol. Thank you so much to everybody that stuck around, tuned in this evening, said hello. As always, we're going to have this episode up along with previous episodes on our Here RVA website, our YouTube channel, This next Monday, I'm going to have none other than Sneeze 804 on, so make sure you guys keep tuning in. And if you want to have a chance to be on JChats, there's people that you would like to see on, please shoot me a message, let me know. But I do appreciate everyone. I'm going to get to bed. I'm sleepy. Had a busy weekend. Saw Dizzy wanted at Brewers Cafe for Brewer Sessions Live. Probably yesterday evening at Tang and Biscuit. It was amazing. So exciting to see people. But I will see you guys next week for another episode of JChats. Talk to you soon. Kidding me out.
My absence only magnify my presence. The purest representing in the culture at its essence. Lola play mahjong. I was using ball rog. The truth burning through the false ciders that you call on. No weapon prosper, lock in with the all powerful. I speak in part C's. When I breathe, I make a mountain move. My style is incredible.